doing?
See?
How was your weekend?
That part. Now, let me just tell you why we in sync. Because if you notice, right when she finished that time, I was there.
Yeah.
She tossed it, I picked it up. But that's only because I was bamboozled and I was tricked.
Yes.
This week.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Breakers, let me just tell you.
Enjoy.
Trina tricked me again.
That I did not.
So firstly, that's false truths and fables, and you know it. You know it's lies.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you know what? Well, then let me just go ahead and remind you of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So Saturday comes along, and Trina had asked me to come support her in singing. And
yes,
now,
I had to sing this weekend.
That's true. She did.
At a funeral.
Right. For those of you who don't know me, I don't do funerals. I don't do them at all. Not even
it wasn't
a little
really
bit.
a funeral. It was a homegoing service. It was a celebration.
It was. And let me tell you why. So after telling her that I was going to go with her because she wanted the support, I then said I would go and sit in the car because I don't do funerals. I don't do the bodies. I don't do all of that. I don't like them. So.
I don't. All these don't. You're supposed to live your life freely.
Oh, I do live my life freely. That's why I don't go to them. Because I have the choice. Come on now. So.
Touche.
So she somehow manages to talk me into actually coming inside with her. And I'm like, fine. And I told her, if the body comes in, I am leaving. Now, I want you all to understand that this was somebody that I loved dearly. And when I was back in church, this woman, I just want to say something positive about her. She was amazing. There was never a frown on her face. Even at her age, she was managed to be able to run around the church.
Yes.
And then on top of that, when
she couldn't run, she used her walker and walked around that church.
Yes, she did. But then on top of that, this is what I loved about her the most. When everything went down, because you all know the situation that happened with Trina and the church, when all of that went down, when I had made the decision to finally leave, the last day I was there, most people don't know this, but she hugged me, and this is what she said to me. She goes, honey, you go and you live your life and you be happy. Just always remember, keep God first, and I love you, sweetheart.
Oh,
that's why beautiful. I told you I was going, is because of that. Because no matter what, she still was wonderful and lovely. But anyway, so Trina gets me to go there.
Yeah.
And I should have already known that once I got there, the other people that were singing were going to try to bamboo that part. Because I get there and then the daughter walks up to me and she's, calls me by the name that she has designated for me, which is Carl Guy. So she walks up to me. She's like, Carl Guy. She gives me a hug. I walk out to the car with her. I'm helping her bring in some stuff. She then goes, oh, I'm so glad you're here because you can be the other tenor. And the light bulb went on and I said, you know what? This ain't nothing but bamboozlement. And then on top of that.
You had a good time.
I did, though. And then the soprano showed up. And she said the same thing.
Yeah.
And then the next singer showed up and said the same thing. Yeah. And then the musician showed up and said the same thing. I said, you know what? They planned this.
Shout out to DJ. You don't even know. DJ made me feel so good by saying that he listens to our podcast.
He did, didn't he, though?
That just took me to a whole nother level.
Well, it's kind of funny because, side note, he was trying to throw some tea, some shade, talking about, I thought you was going to keep it nice and classy, but Carl was the one that had to take it all ghetto. Listen here.
That's right, because I'm the classy one of the group. I am she and she is me, and we are one.
And for all of you who actually know Trina, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, we got
exactly.
There, and
you know that I'm the classiest of the class. And I can be clatched at times, but I'm classy.
So anyway, we went, and it actually ended up being a lovely time.
Star, if you don't close this door and get out, she just pushed her way in here.
Well, that's lovely.
Dad, come get her.
This is going to be how the show is today.
Oh,
so you all
God.
understand.
So everybody knows who Star is. She's my dog-ter, and she literally just pushed my door open.
Right.
And she's supposed to be with her grandfather right now, okay?
Well, that didn't happen.
So, and then he's talking about Star, come on.
Right. So that was part of my weekend.
We're going to take that out.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
I will not post the episode. I won't do anything with it.
Okay.
We just won't have an episode this week.
Okay. So
play with it.
That wasn't the highlight of my weekend, although that was wonderful. That was not the highlight of my weekend.
We're not going to get into that.
We're not going to. We go save that there one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was basically my week too.
Well, yeah, because you're still healing.
Yes, I could not do anything, you guys. My eyes. So if you saw the pictures I posted this week, you know, I had sunglasses on, and that was because I was not trying to be a diva.
Right.
I just literally had a red eye from surgery.
Right.
So, I mean, I can't help who I am. I mean, but anyway. So, okay, that was a very evil
No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening. That's it.
What is all that?
I'm just listening. So, are we going to get into the first segment? Because you know I has lots to say. I'm just boiling over.
Yeah, I don't know which segment we should do.
I do.
I guess we'll go into this one.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Oh, y'all know what time it is.
And
it's
this week,
movie time.
I want to hear
action.
Who else? I don't know why you have to use that.
Movie.
But you know what?
Right.
I know, but normally I get to ask, have you seen it? But I'm the only one that gets to reply. This week, I want to relinquish it over to you. Have you seen it, Trina?
I did see it. So I just want to put this out there that I, being the great, amazing, following through person that I am, actually appreciated, you know, our deal.
I'm so glad you mentioned this because I told myself that I wasn't going to bring it up. So yes, please come on here. Yes.
And I followed through with the commitment that I made on record. I agreed to watch all of the Avengers and Captain America.
Civil War.
And I even threw in Captain Marvel.
Oh, cute.
And I went and saw Endgame. Now, not to take away from Karl, but I followed through, and you know, he did not. If y'all remember.
Oh, I remember.
When he was supposed to listen to that Solange album. Yeah, I know y'all remember.
Oh, I remember.
But I just want everybody to know, Team Trina, we followed through. Okay, Breakers?
Now.
We followed through.
Did anybody else that happens to be listening right now,
right now. See, this is how you know it's about to be a crock of,
No, because I said it to you at the production meeting. So I'm going to say it to you now here live on air. Yes. Listen how bitter she still is about that. That album was so bad that almost a month later, she is still bitter about that.
The point is,
and so the funny part about that is see, sometimes when you go through something and you're feeling bad, you might have that inkling to want to drag somebody down with you. But just remember, loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, and his lips were clearly loose because he said that he was going to do something.
I did say that. And then right after that, I told you, listen here, I was in a good mood and
again,
I was not going to be drugged down to where you are because 4 weeks later, you are still there.
Stay
so
classy,
no, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I didn't listen to that mess because there's a bitter in your heart.
San Diego. Stay classy.
Oh, I love it. Nope. I'm so glad I passed on that because it got you anchored. You were anchored there and I will not.
But anyway, this is your segment. I'm going to let you.
It is.
I'm going to let you dive in.
That's right. So I'm so glad for once Trina got to also see it, but I want to say this. You did say that Agent Coulson was lovely.
Oh, it was so good. I hope some of you guys got to try it. It was delicious. It was very strong. Very strong. And I don't drink like I used to. So, you know, but it was very, very strong. Or maybe I just didn't mix it properly. But all in all, it was a great drink.
See, and that's actually one that I'm going to try now because you said it was actually really good. And then you even made yours a little pink.
I did. I did not have regular lemonade. So I sacrificed for the pink lemonade. Mind you, I do not drink regular lemonade anyway. I drink 15-calorie Minute Maid lemonade because I don't like how sweet lemonade is. So yeah, I made it with the pink.
But that's
It
probably why it
was
was so strong, is because the sugar wasn't there to dilute it.
yes. Well, yeah,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I just that's my preference. I'm not a big lemonade
Well,
girl
that's all
if
right.
it's too sweet. So
You made a skinny Agent Coulson. Hello. So, well, ugh. Anyway, it's movie time. It's movie time. It's movie time. So let me tell you
Yeah.
all about the Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
My
I'm here
God.
for it.
Firstly, I got to see it on preview night, which was great, which is normally the night before it's released to the general public. So
Mhm.
that theater was packed. I put some of that information up on my Instagram. I got so wrapped up in the night that I completely forgot to go ahead and put the video that I took of the theater packed out, not an empty seat. And that theater was a good, like, it was massive. It's huge.
Mhm.
I don't know how many people that theater sits, but it was a lot of people there. Then, oh my goodness, the man came out and started talking. Child, I tried to get a picture of it, but I just couldn't. I had to just put my phone down and like focus because I was like, listen here, I got to live this moment. And there are times in history where you know that you're a part of something great.
Big.
And
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
this is honestly how I felt as a comic book nerd and
Yeah.
a fantasy sci-fi adventure like that. That was heaven for me. This is like
Yeah.
the Star Wars of our generation. And even though we have Star Wars, don't get me wrong, like
Eh.
this, how big and epic this was, I
Mhm.
believe is how big Star Wars were with people camping out and all of that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I'm so glad that the fan theories were wrong and that even some of the stuff that I had concocted in my head was wrong. I
Mhm.
don't want to give any spoilers because I know that this is only right after the first
There's still
weekend
some people. Yeah, there's still some people who haven't watched it. So.
and their tickets were sold out. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to y'all. And the
Mhm.
reason why is because I personally stayed off of social media and YouTube and everything because I did not want it spoiled. And even with the leak and everything that had happened,
Yeah.
even Marvel was like, don't ruin it. And I'm so glad that I followed that because going in and having my genuine, like honest in that
Your
moment
what?
response, which was
Your what response?
genuine, genuine. Mm-hmm. I know you was gonna try to go
Okay.
back for me. I just went ahead and got it again.
Okay. Bring it
My
out.
genuine response in that moment, because I
Mhm.
was screaming. Now I was surprised because everybody kept saying you was gonna cry.
Yeah.
Be prepared. I didn't cry.
I cried. So my experience was a little different than yours because I went so I wanted to go with one of my friends on like Saturday or
Hmm.
something like that, but since we had to go to the homegoing service, I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to get to go." Well, my dad surprised me and he was like, "In continuation of my birthday, let's go." And I'm like, "Great. I'm glad because, he hasn't watched them like that." So I made him watch Infinity Wars the night before.
Ah,
So
okay.
I was like, at least he'll kind of know, what's going on.
Right.
So, of course, throughout the movie, I was explaining who was who and what was going on. And I could actually do that because I
All
knew
right.
all the
See?
characters.
See? All right.
Um, and even at one point in the movie, there was a specific part, which I'm not going to go into, but somebody in our theater actually stood up and screamed, F yeah!
Yeah.
I'm sorry for all the kids in the audience, but F yes. I mean, it was great. So my critique of Endgame is this. A big old fabulous round of
Come on
fucking
now.
applause.
Trina, do you know how many times there is a scene that happened that literally my response was like a 12-year-old little girl.
Oh
All I
yeah.
could do
I know
was
what scene you're
screech.
talking about. I know what you're
I
talking
was
about.
just like, I
Yeah.
lost it. And then there was a scene where I put my fist in the air. I lost
Yes.
it. There was a scene where I was just like clapping and hooping and hollering. And it wasn't just me, it was the whole theater. I actually
Yeah.
went with my husband, and there's a scene where somebody actually started crying, and it was like a sob. We're not talking
Yeah.
about like quiet tears.
Yeah.
We're talking about like that ugly sob where it was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he turned and looked at me and he was like, people really get into this. And I'm like, you have no idea. This is a way of
Yeah.
life, hunty.
No, it was really, really, it was really good. It was better than what I expected.
Me too.
I love the direction that Marvel is going in now, so I cannot wait for that. And so I
Listen
am
at
now
you
a
all
fan.
grown up on movies, girl.
I am now a fan. I am now a fan. So kudos to Marvel for turning this vampire loving moviegoer into
A
a
true comic lover.
superhero.
That's right.
I mean, well, here's the thing. I always had background
Well,
on
yeah,
Marvel
because of
because
your
my
brother.
brother is a comic head.
Yes.
And he still has all of his original
Come on,
comic
D.
books from
Come
back
on,
in the
D.
day. So, you know, but even after the movie, Damien called me and we talked for a whole hour about the movie.
See?
So, to anybody, if you want to reconnect with your family,
Come on here. Come on here.
and your friends, this is a good bonding tool. It really is that good, though.
Because
It really
there's
is.
so much. And let me just tell you, you know how I am about, I was like, I'm not going in there. I do not want to pee. I do not want to miss nothing.
Yeah.
I did not have the urge the whole time.
And it didn't even feel like I was talking to Renata, and they went and saw it too, and she was like, it didn't even feel like 3 hours.
And it really didn't.
But again, we were raised in the black church. So
Come on now. Now that meme is
3
going
hours
around.
is nothing.
And I love it. Because listen here, I was talking about that when I first came out. I said, listen here, I was raised in the black church. You ain't ever been to Tarian services where it's 7 hours and you got to get up and be at school?
Okay. We've been preparing for this our entire life.
Huh. They just didn't know that we was getting ready.
Okay.
Just
But
like
yeah,
Dr. Strange, he knew it was going to be down the road.
Okay.
Come
Come on.
How about that tie-in? How about that tie-in, though? How about the tie-in, though? I do want to talk about how well. And when I said, like, I want to take it back to when I said we're a part of history. So Avengers Endgame, the preview on Thursday night alone racked in over
60 million.
Yes, over $60 million.
Yeah.
Do you know what the
Saw that.
worldwide box office is right now?
What is it?
$1.2 billion.
I am not surprised.
With
I'm not.
350 million of it just in the United States. Like, that is insanity. That's insanity. At the time of us recording it, we're recording not after the complete weekend, which is why we don't have the full breakdown yet. But
yeah, we don't want to give it away. I don't want to be one of those people who gives it away, but I am encouraging you all
please go see it. And please do yourself the favor of watching all of the other films, because if Trina wouldn't have done that, she would have missed certain key parts of the story.
And I think the only one that I didn't really have to watch was Captain Marvel, unless you don't really know, like, I mean, all you need to know is, you know, the beginning of the movie, really, that she had a hard time honing in on her powers.
Right.
And she developed them.
Right, exactly. It's also about how her origin story as well, because, you know, it does directly tie into the plot of things, but people need to be able to see that, to see the character, to understand one of the most pinnacle parts in the film that made me scream like a little girl.
Yeah, me too. But other than that, so it was a really good watch, and I say that you all should go.
Exactly. And so just having the knowledge on all the characters just overall will really, really help you. I promise you, because had Trina not seen the first Avengers, the second Avengers, and the third Avengers.
And just to be clear, everybody, I had seen the first Avengers. No,
I'm saying the refresher.
Right. But I just want everybody to know that I had seen it when it came out in 2011.
Right. Because that was ages ago.
So I just want everybody to know that, you know, I purposely stopped watching them.
See, but now your fire has been lit.
It has.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so can you just give us a really quick update of the next movie so that I can give you guys a cocktail?
Absolutely. So there's two that I'm juggling between, and I'm actually going to go onto the page and I'm going to post it, and maybe we should have people vote to see which one I should do, because on May 17th.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
I have a cocktail. No.
Well, no, I think that you should find another one and let them.
Okay, well, today I will talk about one cocktail, and then next week I'll talk about another one.
Exactly. Because the breakers is all about including the breakers on every segment.
Okay, I agree.
So,
because I love you guys
exactly.
That much.
So we want them to be a part of it.
I will put in a little bit more work. Okay. Just a little bit.
Okay. So you almost had it down though.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was close.
that's because in the production meeting, we talked about May 24th. And so I'm switching it up on her, which is why she already had a cocktail chosen.
Right.
So there's two of them. I want to choose between John Wick Chapter 3 or Aladdin. Now, Aladdin was the one I had originally chosen.
So we'll talk about Aladdin today, and then we can go on John Wick.
Right. So then
week.
Trina will introduce you to what the drink is for Aladdin. And then, when we post up the vote, you can also post up the cocktail.
Okay.
So people got to go to the page to see what the cocktail is so that they can vote. Do you see what I mean?
No, I'm going to talk about the cocktail.
No, I'm talking about the one for John Wick, honey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Come on here.
I don't know what that is.
Come on here.
So
See, but John Wick, it's great. This is the final chapter in a series as well. And pretty much it starts off with the first film. He has a dog and he has a wife. Somebody from his past life, because he's an assassin, comes to his home, kills his wife, kills his dog. He shows the true assassin and he goes after everybody. And so it snowballs into this final one, which Halle Berry is going to be in as the one who saves him. So I'm really excited to see the culmination of this series as well. Even though I wasn't as diehard about it as I was for Endgame, I'm still excited to see that and Aladdin.
Okay.
So we're going to just talk about Aladdin is May 24th and John Wick is May 17th, but Trina's going to give you the drink for Aladdin.
Okay. So here we go. Cocktails. Sounded like static, didn't it? I'm going to show Karl a picture of this because this is going to make him want it even more. But the cocktail that is going to be for the Aladdin movie is called the Cave of Wonders.
Come on now. I really like that one.
It is a vodka drink.
Okay.
So for people like me who can't do vodka, we're going to just push through it.
See, that's interesting because I would think that it would be a darker colored drink because the Cave of Wonders was in the sand. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, but look at this drink. Oh, gosh.
Right.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Look at this drink.
Come on now.
I can't wait till I post this for you guys. But yes, the reason there's smoke is the dry ice in there, just so you know.
See, I like that idea. Now, where are you going to go to have that type of cocktail though? Because that
you might have to make it yourself, and instead of using dry ice, you use regular ice, obviously.
Right. Yeah, because dry ice is dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
I mean, you could probably go to Sweet Factory or somewhere like that uses dry ice in their drinks, but I'll post a picture of it because it's really pretty. But it sounds like it actually tastes good. It's vodka, pineapple juice, grenadine, and cherry liqueur. So
yeah, I like the sound of that.
It sounds like it's gonna taste really good, and But anyway, so I will be posting that just like I did the Agent Coulson. So you guys can check out that recipe and maybe just get together before Aladdin comes out. Because, this is our childhood coming back full circle.
I know.
Lion King, Aladdin, they did Beauty and the Beast, and it wasn't that great.
Even the Avengers. It's from our childhood.
Yeah, even the Avengers. I mean, so... Yeah. So we are going to move on to our next segment.
Segments. Let's go.
And it's going to be Help Me Fix My Life. Ha, ha. You gotta fix my life. Ha, ha, ha. You gotta fix my life. Yeah.
It must just be you singing this weekend that you were just holding them F's and them S's for so long. You better get it, girl.
All right. So we got a good one today.
All right. Let's hear it.
And let's just get to it. It says, "Hey, Karl and Trina, my name is Sam, and I need a little advice. I have been dating my current girlfriend going on 3 years now, and we are happy for the most part.
Huh.
In the beginning of our relationship, she messed up and cheated with a mutual friend. Ever since, I have forgiven her, and we have been working on our trust issues. I have been working on myself over the past year and feel like I am in a better place mentally and spiritually. However, My girlfriend has not taken the time out to work on herself. She still does things that don't add up, lies about the stupidest shit, and acts as though she's God's gift to me.
Oh.
When I confront her about situations, she again lies to cover things up and turns it around to make it seem like I'm the one with a problem or that I have made things worse. The trust issues are real. I don't feel like I have to continue to ask for someone to be honest with me. I'm not sure what I should do at this point. I love her, but I love me too. Huh. Well, how about that?
Huh. In the middle of you reading that, I got a quickening.
Oh, did you?
I did.
I didn't get to see it because I was holding my phone.
I know. However, let me just tell you what fell on me. Sam, you say you are an enlightened soul and you're on this journey of enlightenment. And trust me, when I say this, I am preaching to myself right now. With us being on this journey of enlightenment, one of the first things that you learn is to shift your perspective.
Yeah.
And so if your perspective is still on that, all you will see is still that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And I tell you now.
You just scared the snot out of my nose.
I'm sorry. That one.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You jumped so big.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I almost screamed. You scared me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh my
The
God.
joy is in the room. The joy is in the room. I'm telling you, that one caught me because it's true. They say that what you focus on is what you will get more of.
Yeah.
So if you continue to just focus on those things, that's what you're going to get more of, honey. With us being enlightened, sometimes in our enlightenment, we can get comfortable and forgetting that this is a journey, which means we have to constantly be taking a step forward. And sometimes we may stumble, but you have to get back up. So maybe this is a moment of stumble for you on your journey of enlightenment to test to see your growth. And so maybe in that thing that you're dealing with right now, with the trust and all of that, you just need to shift your perspective, honey, to what you want instead of focusing on what you do not want.
Yeah.
Because what you resist will persist.
Oh, put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt.
So that's what I have to say to you, honey. And trust me, that made me the preacher and the attendee all at one time. Because that was for me, honey, but it just happened to come out for you.
There you go. I will say this, Sam.
Yes.
First of all, I'd like to applaud you for working on your baggage, unpacking that shit and putting it up. I applaud you for that because that is no easy feat.
It is not.
But the thing about trust issues, I feel, trust is a hard thing to gain back. You know, once there's been like a rift in your relationship, it's really hard sometimes to think that the person that you love and care about is ever really going to give you 100% after they've done something like that, you know?
But isn't that still wrapped in our journey?
No, it is. It is. That's why I'm saying I applaud you first and foremost for taking those steps because it takes a lot to even just do that. Now, on top of that, you're having trust issues that you're having to deal with. So, with that being said, the same way that you were able to look at your scars and to look at your damaged goods and work through that, if this is somebody that you truly, truly love and care about, we talked about forgiveness.
Yes.
And it's going a whole nother step to where you might need to just really take a look at the whole situation, have some compassion, have some understanding, some overstanding, and some innerstanding for the situation. We all have messed up.
Yes.
And if it was a one-time thing of cheating, okay, you might be able to get past that. Now you're saying there's these little white lies or whatever. Is it really that big to where it's going to just, cause drama? I mean, it could be. I don't know the whole story.
Right.
But if it's little and it's minute, call her out on her stuff. Tell her, baby, I love you. But you know what? You got to get it together. Help her. Now, if she's not at the stage yet in her life where she wants to grow and she wants to be better for you and for the relationship and for herself, then, I understand maybe you taking a step back and reevaluating. But what I'm saying is you being an enlightened being and understanding the spiritual aspect of relationships and growth and maturity, it might be in your best interest to help her or lead the way in some capacity. Communication, forgiveness, those are big things we talk about.
It is all about communication. But I just want to say this really quickly. I believe that a lot of people hold on to things as though they own them. And that includes people. That
Possession.
includes, yes. And so
Possession.
on this enlightened journey, you have to understand that you own nothing but yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you keep thinking that you own this person and that they should act in a certain way or do certain things, because all of our journeys are different. If your energies don't match up, then maybe you should go your separate ways. But I want to say this, in you being on this journey to enlightenment, you have to remember this: be the change that you wish to see in the world.
That's good.
That's what Mahatma Gandhi said. So for me, that means I need to stop looking outwardly, as we know this journey is about, to try to find somebody that's supposed to be the example that I'm supposed to be. No, I just need to do it.
Yeah.
So that means it needs to start with me. So with this trust thing, the only issue that you're having with trust, and not to contradict you, Trina, but as I'm sitting here thinking about it, and like I said, this is preaching to the choir. When it comes to stuff like that,
we have opinions.
yeah.
It's okay.
But when it comes to stuff like that, that is based in fear. And that's based in fear only because we cannot control. Because at the end of the day, you must understand you're only responsible for you. Your choices, your actions. And if your choices and your actions are about putting out good, then all you will receive back is good. You cannot control anyone else.
Absolutely.
And if they choose to lie to you, that is their choice. That is their journey. It is on you and how you respond, because that is the only thing you can control.
Your reaction is what you can control.
That's it.
You are the only thing that you can control.
And I'm not saying that when people do you wrong, you're just supposed to be like, whatever. No, you just acknowledge that energy for what it is and do away with it, because what you're doing in your journey is now you're adding more baggage because you've added another situation. So instead of unpacking, you've unpacked one thing and then replaced that thing with something new.
Added something else. Absolutely.
And so then that's counterproductive.
Yeah. So Sam, you gotta take a look at the whole situation. You gotta figure out what's gonna be best for you guys. And what is it worth it?
That's right.
And then from there, you make your decision. Don't forget about the forgiveness and the communication.
Yes.
All right. That
was a good one.
That's a good. Yeah. We right here because I felt that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna get on to our next segment, and y'all know what time it is.
Let's go.
It's tea time.
It's tea time.
Oh, one of my favorite segments. Okay, so this week we got a couple of things you want to touch on.
Touchity touch, touch, touch.
First thing, so you know that there's been a lot of mass shootings going on around the world. Well, the other day, about 10 minutes from mi casa,
what?
There was a shooting at a synagogue.
No.
There was a shooting, yes, in Poway, California, which is San Diego County, which is 10 minutes from where I live. I go to the Walmart in Poway because we don't have a Walmart where I live. So there was one woman in her 40s who actually died. And the rabbi was shot, I believe, in his fingers.
Jesus.
Lost some of his fingers. And then there was a man and his... What?
Nothing.
You were laughing?
No.
Why?
I was choking.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I thought something happened. I'm sorry.
No, I was choking.
All right. Well, can you breathe?
Yes. No, I'm good. When you said that, when you said he got shot in his fingers, I was like... and started choking.
Okay, I thought you might have seen something funny,
No.
and I don't want to miss anything.
Right. I know.
Okay.
No, no. I was trying to be
Even
respectful.
whilst reporting the news.
Right. Fear of
I don't
missing
want to
out.
miss FOMO. Um, so, um, yeah, but there was a man and I believe his daughter or just a child, I'm not sure, but they were like grazed, I believe. It wasn't like they were shot, but yeah, and so what
Wow.
most people are saying is no one should be gunned down in their house of worship. I
I
mean,
agree.
how do you feel about that?
Um, have they said who the shooter was? Just the race?
Yeah, the crazy thing about it is the rabbi had a one-on-one like interception with the shooter. He was literally coming in and heard like a thump. And he was on the news and on Good Morning America or something like that, but he heard a thump and he was like, "Oh, maybe something fell." Walked in and turned around and the shooter was right there in his face.
Wow.
So, they know who it is.
Did the shooter kill himself?
I did not see that.
Okay. So this is somebody who's still out in the large.
No, he's in custody.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was asking his race. Do they know his race?
Oh, let's see here. No, I think it was, well, let me not say no.
Well, that's okay. And it's not like it matters. I was just wondering if it was going to be another hate crime as well, or if it's just
Yeah,
going.
they're definitely saying it's a hate crime, anti-Semitic, of course, and they were Jewish, so
Oh, wow.
it was a Jewish temple.
This is sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's just, I mean, you're not, I mean, if you go to church, you're not safe. If you're walking down the street, you're not safe. If you're black and you're getting Skittles, you're not safe.
I refuse to accept this type of brutality towards one another. When did we become so disconnected that we literally see another human being and think the worst of them, that we would want to cause them harm? And then on top of that, take their life.
Yeah.
Like, what can be that bad?
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but
It doesn't.
a
And
lot
is
of
it based on
people are
religion?
dealing with well, I think that it really digs down deeper than that, and it's people dealing with past trauma and they've never healed properly, and
Right.
so they're lashing out. Or some people were just bred to be killers, there's some people who were just born into an evilness.
And that's
Seriously.
true.
And their
And they
parents.
accept it now.
Here's one quote that I saw on Instagram today that kind of touched me a little bit. It said, You got to be easy with yourself and gentle with yourself and realize that everybody was not built on love and they were built on survival."
Yes.
And that kind of hits home because we are firm believers and teachers of love.
That's right.
And it's sad sometimes when you run into like beings who have never had the choice of love. They've
Exactly.
always been taught another way. So yeah, it sucks, but
It does.
that was the first thing in tea time today. I wanted to bring that to light. Now, for a little more fun,
Yes, please,
um,
child.
Trump versus Jussie Smollett.
Oh, Jesus. You
Your
said fun.
best friends.
Who,
Yeah.
Jesse?
And Trump.
You mean Jesse?
Trump is your and Trump is your best friend too.
Who is that?
Don't start.
I think it's
So,
interesting that Trump and Thanos start with the same letter.
and they look the same too. Big and boxy and burly and ugly. Just big, burly, boxy and ugly.
Oh,
But here's the
if only
thing.
he was
So
purple.
at his well, he's orange, so
Right.
they are symmetrical colors, on the color wheel. So there you go. So at Trump's latest rally, he started off by saying he's came up with the greatest slogan in the world, "Make America Great Again," and that this is MAGA country. And he said that it's funny to him that a third-rate actor, he's talking about Jussie Smollett, had the nerve to say that during his fake attack, it was MAGA country, which turned out to be a total lie.
Oh.
And so, yeah. Yeah. So which I don't know why it's so important to him to bash, like, you know, Jussie Smollett. Like, you're the president. You're supposed to be like worrying about water and Flint.
You forget who you're talking about.
I know, but it just, one day I want to wake up and really just be like, okay, we have an actual president and not a child in
Honey,
office.
you keep trying to make a boot a high heel. I need you to stop.
Okay.
Listen here. You already know that he wants to be a celebrity and he thinks that being a president makes him the biggest celebrity ever.
Yeah.
That's why that's all he talks about. It's the stuff that's dealing with celebrities, like something that has to deal with Jussie Smollett, which is an entertainment situation and a personal situation. Instead of like worrying about policy, that's what he's more concerned about. But that's why he's in front of the television most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Twitter fingers, twiddle thumbs. That's what we should call them.
Thumbs,
twiddle,
right?
Twiddle thumbs, twiddle D and twiddle thumbs. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but he has had so much to say about Jussie, and then of course in the clip that I saw, there's two big head ass black dudes in the back of him talking about yay and all this crap. It just pissed me off. Like, y'all know that y'all are just getting paid to be standing behind him. Y'all get on my freaking nerves. Tired of this crap. Stupid ass.
Oh.
It just made me, that made me so mad. I was like, and of course in his shot, y'all want to sit up there with y'all big heads.
Just go ahead.
Talking about something, yay, and lifting up Trump signs and stuff. Like, what is... I just want to shake the table.
Can I tell you what it is?
Oh my God, idiots.
They want to be famous.
Stupid.
They want to be famous, and people understand that being controversial.
No, they're crisis actors. That's all it is. Tired of this. We're not even.
That was dark. That was dark.
Well.
Oh.
Was it dark? Sorry, guys. I've been watching My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So.
But I'm having flashbacks of when I went off on Fox News, but I'm just thinking of the joy because, it's funny to me because all of the things that they're screaming, fake news, crisis actors, they're doing all of these things and it just points to a projection.
Yeah.
But when you are pointing to projection instead of just living your life, just being the real you, but those people can't be the real them. So that's why they have to project. They're afraid to embrace. So they point the finger because they know it's wrong and they feel it's wrong, but they still profit from doing it. So,
and they're just stupid. They're just brainless, mindless, spineless idiots. All of them. Y'all seen the meme? Both of them. What are you? Are you a crisis actor? Or are you really a Trump supporter? Both of them.
You're just mad. You're just mad.
I'm just pissed off. I can't wait to have my cold stone. Tired of this. Shoot. But anyway, we're going to move on to the next topic because I'm not giving Trump no more time. You don't get no more time, sir. Stupid.
Oh, my God.
Just stupid.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
Cheeto Puff. Anyway, so something on a more serious note, I wanted to definitely from Breaking Hollywood, we wanted to give our condolences to Nigel Shelby, the 15-year-old gay gentleman who committed suicide.
Yes.
From bullying. We're never going to stop hearing these stories, you guys, because...
Oh, yes, we will. I live for that day.
Well, we will. But what I'm saying is in this current climate, because we just got to do better.
All
as
of us.
a people.
That's including you and me. We have to start embracing people more. And actually, you know what? I'm so glad you read it after that because this is the thing. You were mad at the bald-headed gentlemen that were back there supporting Trump. But you know what? That can be a teachable lesson because maybe they weren't embraced by the Black community. Maybe they were too
I'm
white.
sure they weren't.
And, because I've been saying,
their
Carl, you're too white or you're too this. Exactly. And there's so many things because they could be operating from pain. So it's like, okay, we can't be a part of you and we may not be a part of them, but at least they're accepting us to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about it, also is, like prime example this weekend when we went to the homegoing, I was kind of nervous about going into the situation because there was a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I didn't know how my spirit was going to react.
Right.
Because I have dealt with a lot of my issues, but I have always been an angry person. S- and if anybody knows me, knows this to be true. So, for me, forgiving was a big thing, and I talked about it a little bit in that segment. But um, so for me to go into this situation, I had to have backup. That's why I just really that was the main reason why I really pressed for Carl to be there. But along with that, I just didn't know if I was going to be able to react in the right way.
Right.
So actually going into the situation and people embracing us and being so genuinely happy to see us.
Right.
Like you guys don't even realize it was I'm not trying to toot our own horns, but it was kind of like celebrity status when we walked in. I'm so serious. People are like, "Oh my god, Trina and Carl. Ow." And I mean, and we felt the same way though. Like I felt the same, genuinely felt the
I
same
did as
way about
well.
seeing
I
all
was
of those
genuinely
people,
happy to
but I
see a lot
didn't
of them.
know.
Very genuinely happy. But I understand why you invited me, and I know that, and that's why I pressed so hard in pretending that I was frustrated and upset about having to sing because I knew you were already having a tough enough time going back there after everything you
Yeah.
had gone through, and even situations after that that weren't directly you, but that affected you, and I know
Yeah.
that, and so that's why I harped on that so much because again, at the end of the day, the woman that I was going for, I loved. And if I didn't want to go,
Yes.
Trina, you would have known. I would have said no.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even though I put on that whole facade, it was to
Mhm.
honestly distract from what I knew you were going to be feeling because I had already gone
Yeah.
back once. I went back once
Yeah.
and
You did. Yeah.
2 years ago to do the
Yeah.
reunion choir. And I had that moment where I kept thinking, was it the right choice or not? Because I know how much
Mhm.
I've evolved and I don't want to open myself up to accepting all of that criticism and that negative way of thinking again. But,
Exactly.
and so I remember being in that spot and I knew that's how you must have felt. So that's why I
Mhm.
was just trying to be,
Oh,
oh, da 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 da
like
da
a
da da da
best
da. Because I know
friend.
that the mocking would
Oh.
have made you laugh, which it did, and it
Yeah.
made you be like, "Come on, you da da da
Oh
da
my
da."
gosh, you guys, I was so and I had to apologize to the daughter because I laughed so loud during
Oh
the
my god,
service.
yes, you did. Oh my god.
And I
Oh,
was like, "Oh
I
my
had to actually
god."
smack you. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So, didn't help that I hit my pen before service either.
Right. Mm,
So, but anyway, but what I was getting to was all of that kind of melted away after I got my first hug from a friend that I haven't talked to in years, that I've been worried about, that I haven't seen. And it doesn't matter the situation or the status, the fact that I got to embrace him,
exactly.
it just kind of like alleviated everything. And what I was tying that into with the whole situation is sometimes people just need that.
Yes.
They just need covering, protection,
Yep.
a hug, some kind of transfer of energy to make them and let them know that it's going to be okay, that I'm okay.
That's
I'm
right.
all right. I'm good. And I wish we could have been there as a community for this young man
Exactly.
because to be at the age of 15 and feel like you have no other choice
Because you'll
but to
never
take
be
your own
accepted.
life because you're not
Exactly.
accepted. Um, I can't imagine feeling that way because I've never been in that situation
I
to where
have.
I haven't felt accepted, but I've been in a situation where I felt totally alone.
Right.
But in that, that's a whole nother, well, I mean, you said you have, so
But remember, we talked about that. Remember, because I told
yeah,
you in the black community, they're more willing and accepting of lesbians than they were black men.
yeah,
So, and that is great, but I don't
right.
know what it is about black men that they shun away from so much.
I think it's the stigma that if you're gay, you're soft and you're not a man's man.
See, but what is wrong with being soft?
There's
because you
nothing
can get
wrong with
you
that.
know what yeah, exactly, and I understand that
Yeah.
it's the culture and the upbringing because we had to be hard for so long. We had to look a
Yeah.
certain way. We always had to be more
Yeah.
than. I completely get
We
that.
had to be on go. We had to be
Yes,
well, men had in the black community had to be aggressors. I mean, to go from slavery, they
exactly.
had to protect their families, and then from we don't have rights and having to protect our family and we could be killed for anything to having rights, and still our women are still objectified and not
Yep,
treated with the way that they're supposed to, so we have to protect them, and then coming to this era now where everybody has rights and responsibilities and yay,
exactly.
but we still are right back to the same mentality to where we cannot walk down the street
Right.
without getting pulled over or asked, where you going, son? Or where you going, boy? So, I mean, I understand, that there's an mentality, but that doesn't excuse the behavior.
Okay, hold on though. Hold on. I want to say this. You mentioned something very good. So I have to say this, and this is not going to be popular, and I understand that this might get some backlash, but I'm going to say it as a black man. We have to hold the responsibility in what is happening to us as well. Because if we wouldn't have had to be so aggressive and make that the stereotype of a black man,
Right.
maybe some of the guards would be let down. Maybe not all of them, but maybe
Absolutely.
some of them. So we have to take our responsibility
Absolutely.
in that as well.
Heck yeah. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with
And
that.
that may not
I
be
think,
popular, but it's the truth.
oh, it's not going to be a popular opinion, but it is what it is. And that's just like with any situation. If your walls are up and you don't allow anybody in, there's no room for repair of any damage. There's no room
That's
for
right.
an understanding of who you are. Like, you know, you'll never know. I understand also, though, that there are times when that doesn't matter. You can let your guard down and I still don't like you.
Exactly.
Okay, it is what it is.
Yep.
At that point, that's when those people you're like, okay, well, forget you. I don't like you neither.
And move on. That's right.
But I totally, totally get that and totally agree with it. It's just, it's still kind of, it just sucks, man. It just sucks because we just gotta, we gotta do better. We gotta embrace our kids. We gotta let them know and understand that we're here. We support them no matter what. I think it's just so crazy to me that there are so many of these families out here, these white families that adopt these black kids and they can just love them
Yes.
and
Embrace them.
be there for them no matter what.
Yes.
Have you heard about I don't even remember her name. The actress who has a 6-year-old transgender son?
No.
Well, he's transgender. He identifies as a woman. At the age of 3, he
Wow.
was like she said something to him like my good boy, and he was like, I'm not a boy. I can't even remember her name at this moment, but
Wow.
I mean, the fact that even that I mean, if you guys know anything about black families, that's not happening.
It sure would not be. No.
That's not
You're too
no.
young. How do you know? You don't understand. And even then, we begin to put those confines on people. How do you know? You're too young. You don't know what's best. You don't this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, they would know. It's their body, it's their mind. This is not going to be popular, but it's true as well. Because then they will try to use God and they'll go, God doesn't make mistakes. And then my response to that would be, you're right. He's not a mistake, or she's not a mistake. She is a lesson for the world.
Agree.
God didn't make a mistake. God put that child there with all of that there, period, to teach the world something. So he didn't make a mistake. So you walk in whatever you feel the universe, God, Allah, Buddha, any of them are teaching
Yeah.
you to be.
Mhm.
And so if you feel
Yeah.
that you're not in the correct, the correct, my Lord,
Oh, were you
you are
trying to
not,
say the Quran?
no, you're not in
I
the
was trying to save you.
correct.
I was trying to save you.
Right.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, girl. Thank you. Got my back. Got my back.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, you may feel that you're not in the correct form, that you should have been born a woman, but you are not just that form. And you can transfer to whatever you want to be. This is just an outward shell.
It's a shell. At the end of the day, it's a shell. We're spiritual beings.
Ooh.
We have masculine and feminine energy,
Yes.
rolling through all of us.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is.
And you know what? Do you know that pecans come in 2 different shells, but we crack those open to get to the good inside? So that's what everybody needs to focus on, the good inside, and stop looking at the shell. Woo!
Oh, I like that. That's sweet. was a sweet analogy. I like it.
That's because I've been watching How It's Made lately, and I've been going through all of them, and I just recently saw that one, and I thought it was actually really, really, really interesting.
I like that. I like that. Well, so that kind of just like dove into self-care right there.
Didn't it though?
Um I think that was pretty awesome.
That
So I
was.
guess, y'all, that
For
is it
self-care?
for this
Mm-mm.
week.
No. For self-care, we got to say one thing, honey.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Look at your inner. Focus on your inner and just let it shine.
Yes. Let me tell y'all, if you don't know my name on Instagram, that is why it's the inner G. It's inner G, but it's spelled inner, INNERG, because my energy is coming from the inner me, which makes me an inner G
All
because I'm
right
still a
here.
G. You feel me?
That's the rapper
So,
name.
but seriously, everything comes from inside you,
That's correct.
inside me, inside she, inside we. Everything is the inner being. And so if you focus on that, you work on that, and you help other people to realize that, and they work on that, we can start a ripple effect, a
That's right.
chain reaction. And that is the goal. Look, I know the Tether, they was all jacked up, but I want to be like them.
Come on.
I want to be holding hands
Come on.
across the nation. You feel me? From sea to shining
You better
sea.
link it up. You better link it up.
If you haven't seen Us, that was a plug.
It sure was. Another great movie.
But for real, I mean, even that too was about battling yourself.
Yes. Better come on in here. You better come on in here.
But anyway, yes, I'm gonna work on it too, because I'm not perfect.
That's right.
Look, y'all saw me, y'all heard me. Trump gets on my last. Okay, not even my last. He gets on the one after that.
He tap dancing on it.
He gets on the one after that. Okay, the one when that last nerve is gone, and I go into psychotic mode. Yeah, he taps on that nerve. So I still got stuff to work on, and clearly, Laura Ingraham gets Carl fired up. So
listen here.
So we all got room to grow. We all
do.
got room to work. And I mean,
it is a journey, meaning we're always taking a step forward. That's what we got to do.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So with that being said,
yes,
that's it for this week.
It is. And I feel good closing it like that. Yes.
I do too. Man, I love y'all, man. And I mean that. I really mean it.
Y'all be bringing it out.
For real. Y'all just give me such good energy and good vibes. Yep. I mean, like, gosh.
We are creating a movement.
Just to let y'all know, it's not going to be anytime like in the present, but in the near future, we're planning something big for y'all.
We are.
So get ready.
Get ready. Get ready.
All right, breakers. Well, that is it for this week. We love you and we mean it.
Yes, we do.
Love you guys. High five.
High five. Love, light, and positivity always. Bye.